fire inside.
Welcome to another episode of Ringmasters, where we discuss the latest in boxing news and share techniques of the sweet science. Are you ready, fight fans? Let's glove up.
What's going on, sir?
Yo, what up?
Hey, how are you, man? Good to see you. Glad to have you on.
Well, what's good, brother?
Let me give you the announcement that you truly deserve, everybody. This is world famous boxing star, Mr. Jaidon Codrington. Right now he's a light heavyweight boxer, 21-4, 17 KOs. Did I get it right?
That's what it ended up being.
Yes, sir.
That's what the record was when I was retired, yes.
Okay. All right. So glad to have you on, man. I really do appreciate you taking the time, man. You've always been a good friend to me. So I really appreciate you, and I want to let everybody else know how great a guy you are, man. So I was honored to have you as my first guest on the Ringmaster show, man. So thank you so much.
It's only right, Reg.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, so tell us a little bit about yourself, first of all. Where'd you grow up, man?
I grew up in Bridgeport, Connecticut. When I started boxing, I resided more or less in Queens, New York. You know, that's where I won most of my national titles out of as an amateur. Well, not national, but my one national title as well as a plethora of other titles.
Okay, yeah. I saw you won, let's see, I want to say, was it 2005 Golden Gloves? Did I get that right?
You know, I won the Golden Glove 5 times in the state, and I won it once in the nation. So,
man,
in the state, you go on to regionals and nationals. I was able to capture a national. I won a New York City Golden Gloves, a Western Massachusetts. I won Milwaukee. You know, I've been all around.
Man, you did great, man. All of those accolades, that's great, man. You a bad dude, man. You're still a bad dude in my own opinion. Because I seen you in the gym pumping 315 up like it was 115, you know, so I don't want any right now, you know.
I'm actually starting to get right back into the weightlifting, but it's kind of hard with me. I have rheumatoid arthritis, so sometimes, you know, it's better than others, but when it's good, it's, you know, I try to get it in while I could.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, tell me about what inspired you to box, man. I know you grew up in Bridgeport. What did something happen? Like Ali had an incident where, you know, somebody stole his bike, and then that inspired him to box. You know, what inspired you to get into the ring?
A lot of my uncles and such boxed in the past. None of them really took it as serious as they could have. They could have been a lot better than they were. There came a point in my life when I stayed with my dad at the age of maybe 13 or 14. My mom, you know, I was kind of getting rambunctious. She said, you know, I'm not going to do this. You need to go with your daddy. At the time, I went to stay with my dad, and it was kind of like, it was like polar opposites. My mom had a decent 2-family house in an area that was more or less people that made medium wage rather than minimum. So when I went with my dad, he was straight in the projects with his girlfriend. So long story short, you know, I was getting a few things with my dad. My dad said, "Listen, man, you have to get a hobby or you have to get a job. You're not going to be staying in my house doing nothing all day." So at the time, you know, I knew the boxing gym was always looking for new fighters and, you know, and new opportunities. So I went there for a while, grinding out and got my ass beat for years before I started getting better. But once I started getting better, it wasn't no turning back.
Yeah. Well, that's great, man. I guess that's what the old saying, that men go to the gym to how I said, you go to the gym to become a man. That's what I've heard, you know. a lot of young guys go to the gym, and that's where they learn their discipline, you know. And even the
Yeah, it's
guys
a
who
lot of discipline, and that's what the fighters, you know. I don't know if I'm skipping ahead, but being at PAL now, that's what a lot of those young kids, you know, are missing, the discipline factor of it, you know.
Yes, sir.
When I was at my dad's house, he woke me up at 5 a.m. every morning to do my 5 miles, 500 push-ups, 500 sit-ups every morning before I went to school. And a lot of times I went to school, people were making fun of me because, you know, my dad was beside me on the bike half the time. They used to poke jokes at me. They ain't want no smoke, but they was poking jokes at me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just the discipline, eating right every day, going to the gym every day, running and doing your road work every morning, doing your calisthenics every morning. And that's what this generation is missing. This is the microwave generation, you know?
Yeah, everybody wants something now.
Overnight.
Yeah.
They don't want to grind and, you know, make an album and market your own album and sell tapes out of your trunk. They just want to post an Instagram video and be famous tomorrow.
Right. What's that? I heard someone say they all want lead dreams, but they have a backyard work ethic.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. It's crazy.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
Boxing isn't like basketball or football. You can't work out for 2 or 3 weeks and think you're going to play in a game, or you can't just take somebody's spot over because you know how to play ball in the AAU game. You know, you might work out in the gym for 3-4 months, still getting your ass beat, and you're going to fight. You're thinking to yourself, am I ready for this?
Yeah.
I've been getting my ass beat for 3-4 months. You know, why am I fighting? You know, so it's not like an overnight type of thing. It's a steady grind. You got to take a lot of ass beatings if you want to ever get anywhere.
That's the key, man. Not to give up. Just hang in there. You know, it'll get better.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah. Hey, so tell me this, man. So I've always wondered this because I always see you working out at PAL. Is there any plans for a comeback for you, man? Maybe
I'm done, man. I got a wife, 2 kids, a house, 2 vehicles. It's like, you know, that was the plan. You know, when I came to APD, I tore a retina in my left eye, one of my last fights, and I was seeing doubles for a while. My wife talked me into getting on the department. I went to the academy. I was rated number 7 in the world. I was in the academy. So when I gave it up, it was kind of like at the pinnacle of my career. It was right after I came off the show, The Contender, and a lot of people who knew who I was. It was kind of like a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. You can't ever be mad about being known or accomplishing your dreams, but when you can't do anything with it, you know, you can't fight anymore. You can't take this career that you work so hard for your whole life for. You can't take it serious anymore because you know it's a dead end street at the end of the day. So I had to make a choice. You know, am I going to keep getting hit in the head, seeing doubles, or am I going to get on the top?
Yeah. Well, look, your health is always more important, man. We want to keep you here as long as we can. You know, is there anybody who you wanted to fight back then? Like you just, you know what, this is the person I would love to just get a piece of that action. Not because you thought you could beat them, but it just give you that good measuring stick to see where you were.
You know, to tell the truth, back then, it's funny because, you know, when I was coming up through the ranks, we would offer people fights all the time and they would turn it down. And then it seemed like once I got on with my job and they call it you're on the couch or whatever have you, these same individuals are seeking to fight me when they know I'm not boxing anymore. It's like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
I'm not even boxing anymore. Now you want to fight me when you had 20 chances to fight me before you did.
Well, you still have that name, so I guess they wanna come up on your name, you know?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Well, shoot, you have any projects, business ventures going on? Because I read somewhere that you have 2 boxing gyms, one in New York, one in Florida. Is that true?
No, I don't have any boxing gym per se. At one time, I was involved in a few things, and I decided to take my involvement out of that. But now if I get in the business, it probably won't be in boxing. It's a really cutthroat business. There's not a lot of stand up individuals that will shake your hand and stick to their word. So,
Right.
besides that, I'm over at PAL training little kids, and to me, that's rewarding. I don't care if they ever become a boxer or not, as long as I can keep them off the streets,
Right.
possibly get them to go to college or the military or get a skilled trade. So I just use boxing as an avenue to
Right.
pull them from the negativity. You know what I mean?
I got you, man. Well, that's the most important thing. Make sure that they have that they're good citizens, and have productive lives, not just to be, a boxer. So, so let me go ahead and give you this. I don't want to run completely out of time without asking your professional opinion about these situations that we have in boxing today. Now, I got. Let's talk about the middleweight boxing division. All right. So we got number 1 and 2. Now this is from the ring ranking. You got number 1 is Triple G. He's 41-1. You also have number 2, Jamal Charlo, 31-0. All right. Now that's the ring rankings. Now the WBC rankings, you have Canelo Alvarez and Jamal Charlo, again 31-0. What is your opinion about why isn't Triple G and Canelo? I know they would fight each other, but why don't they want to fight Charlo?
First of all, let me put this plain out there clear, right? So Canelo has beaten more opposition notoriety names than anybody on earth at this point, right? Canelo is number 1 pound for pound, period, point blank in the story, right? Now, there are people out there, I feel, that can give him a run or beat him. Boo Demetrius Andrade. To me, he can beat him. To me, I think he has the potential to beat him. But on paper, it's not close to fair to say anything close to that. So we're going to keep Triple G at the top, right? Now, The problem we have in boxing is several things why people don't fight each other. One, promoter situation, right? So back in the day, you had your...
All right, I'm having a little trouble hearing you.
Bob, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, that's one of my old matchmakers that was actually calling me. Joe Chiambo. He actually was part of Teofimo Lopez's corner, so he was just calling me. I'll have to call him back later.
It's okay. Go ahead.
He just sent me a message that says, "Boss, call me." I'll call when we get off. But
tell him we're doing the show. Go ahead.
Right. So long story short, there are a lot less managers and promoters out there. Today, there's so many managers and promoters to where back in the day, Don King had a fight card that had 5 fights on it. He owned every person on the fight card, opponent and champion, right? So it's like if he comes with a champion, he leaves with a champion. Win, lose, or draw. Nowadays, to where everybody wants their own promotional company, everybody wants to manage themselves, get different managers. It's kind of hard to hook that up because people don't want to take that loss, because if they lose the money. They're shifting that money somewhere else. So
you're saying everybody wants to be promoters. I'm sorry, I don't want to cut across you, but you're saying everyone wants to be promoters. But isn't that the smart thing to do?
Absolutely.
Sort of
but when it comes to boxing has become more of a business now than ever. So, it's a smart thing to do for boxing and the business, but for the sport and for the fans, it's horrible because you don't get these great fights made, right?
Yeah.
So these people aren't fighting each other because everybody knows Bob Arum and Al Heyman don't really business like that. Don King's halfway out the game with a few fighters, and then you have the Golden Boys of the era. You still have the Cameron Duncans holding on.
Yeah.
You still have the Warriors promotion with Leon Mogul holding on. you have a lot of different promotional entities
Yeah.
where they have 1 or 2 prizes, not in the same weight class, obviously, and they're not trying to lose them. The other big problem is there's too many belts, right?
There are definitely too many belts.
And you have
I've always agreed with that. But go ahead.
there's 4 belts, and for every 4 belts that they have out there, you know, you have 4 different belts. So for the WBC, let's say Canelo doesn't want to fight somebody, he wants to fight somebody else. They'll call him the champion in recess and just give somebody else the regular title. Then they'll match him up with somebody else and give him the diamond title. And they give somebody else there's so many abbreviations of these belts in each sanctioning body to the point where you have so many people claiming to be world champions. And I'm not sure if you remember this, but time ago you had somebody, I forgot who it was, but somebody on Facebook talking about he was a world champion. I'm like, stop. You can't do that because you're putting the wrong.
I remember that, man. Y'all
you're putting the wrong message across, man.
Yeah.
You're not anywhere near a world champion. You're not close to it, right? So
Right.
you have some WBF title that nobody ever heard of. When you say world title, you're taking from the people that are real world champions. Let me tell you something. In my contract, when I turned pro, WBC, WBA, WO, and IBF. If I won any of those titles, I got at least $250,000 for the title shot, and I got $500,000 for the defense. That was guaranteed at least, right?
Yeah.
A WBF. If I won that, I might have fought for that for $20,000, $30,000. That doesn't count.
Man.
So when you say you're a world champion, I'm no hater, yo. Listen, the kid he's half-ass talented. He's strong.
Now you know he's gonna give me a call and be like,
listen, I'm not taking that from him. He's strong, whatever. He's gonna get more polished in the future, and I hope he does because he's working hard. I assume that's the way it seems to me. But what I'm saying is, when you take on that title of world champion, you're sending the wrong message out there, like you're the best in the world, and that's not the case. Especially in those smaller weight classes, man. These Mexicans and people from third world countries are fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
Literally. You know what I mean?
I got you. Well, two more topics here. I just go to the welterweight. We don't really have a lot of time, but you know what? Forget that. We'll carry it on just a little longer. Since since it's going well. Welterweight. Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence. Everybody's talking about that. I personally think I like Terrence Crawford. I do not think he can beat Earl Spence. I think the tail fight to me, because both of them had fought Kell Brooks. You can tell me if I'm wrong or tell me your opinion. Both of those guys fought Kell Brooks. I think Earl Spence had I think he handled Kell Brooks a little better than Crawford handled.
Styles make fights, right? So you got Ali, who lost to Frazier, right?
Right.
Foreman, who demolished Frazier, right? Everybody counted.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Ali out because the guy that demolished him got demolished by the guy he's about to fight, right?
Right.
No, he knocked Foreman out. Styles make fights, man. You can't say because somebody struggled with one person, you know what I mean? Styles fights. And quite naturally, Terrence has, listen, I'm going to tell you the truth, man. Errol Spence is nothing but a weight bully. He's bigger than everybody. He throws a lot of punches. He comes forward. To me, there's great class and hard work ethic in that, but there's no natural ability in that. That's not a natural ability to work hard and throw a lot of strong punches. You got a guy like Terrence Crawford, who is a superb boxer, uses angles. He's the best switch hitter that ever touched a boxing glove, meaning he goes southpaw or orthodox. He fights well at both stance. He takes a hell of a shot, and he gives a lot better of a shot. I feel like, I have a hard time seeing anybody beating Terrence Crawford. Anybody. Terrence Crawford is the cream of the crop.
I think
not to mention, Errol Spence has yet to put people on his resume that makes as big of a name as, you know, Gamboa did when Crawford beat him. You know what I mean? That was a huge upset. How many people do you know coming in?
Saying, Steve-O saying Crawford. He think he's the best. Go ahead. I see you, Steve-O.
Yeah, man. Come on, dude. Crawford's the best. He's built like that, dude. He lives this shit, right? So you got Errol Spence, a guy getting in a car accident while he's intoxicated. While he's doing that, what is Crawford doing? He's at home with his 4 kids and his beautiful wife. He's training hard. He's staying in shape. You know what I mean? It's like it's a lifestyle.
Well, I don't think he wanted to get in a car accident. But
yeah, but he was drunk though. Why are you drinking? You're a fighter. Listen,
it's celebratory.
Listen, I drank alcohol for the first time in my life at 30 years old. 30.
Really? That's
first time. I'm sorry, I was 29 and some change.
Well, that's pretty good, man.
For the first time in my life.
That's true commitment. And really, any boxer should do the same thing. I've heard of the first person who I think I've heard was B-Hop. Bernard Hopkins talked about his lifestyle. He doesn't go out, he doesn't party. You know, he goes home, he eats right. He does all those things, but it's not just for the fight. He does it all the time. So,
that's because he was institutionalized. He was in prison for so many years. So that's all he knew was the right life, to wake up early, to work out, to go to grub. After that, work out again, play some spades or cards, BS, lights out at 7 o'clock. That's the life he was used to as a young man. So it was easy for him to go into the real world and adapt that to regular life, if you're mentally strong enough, at least.
Yeah, well, that was something. I was always, and I also wanted to bring up though, I thought Errol Spence handled one of my favorite boxers, Sean Porter. I think he did a great job, and I think the jab made the difference.
That's what I'm saying. Styles make fights, right? So at the end of the day, he outboxed him. He outboxed him.
Yeah, he outboxed him, exactly. And he wouldn't let him get set up.
Listen, so when you look at that fight, can he outbox Terrence Crawford?
I think he can, man. You know what?
Listen. I'm not saying do you think he can beat him. I'm asking, can he outbox him?
He can outbox him. You know why?
Oh, yeah.
He'll never let Crawford get set up.
Mad.
He'll never let Crawford get set up. Let's think about Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is a good boxer. He's a great boxer, in my opinion.
Danny Garcia could never get anything set up. I'm a huge Danny Garcia fan just because he beat people when he needed to. But at the end of the day, to me, Danny Garcia is very fortunate in his career. He had a couple very close losses. I feel like that guy he fought in Puerto Rico, he lost to. You know, Danny Garcia had the perfect fights at the right time. He's a example of right timing, right? So Danny Garcia, you know, ever since, who was it that he beat late in his career? Morales, was it?
I don't want to tell you anything wrong.
Yeah, it was Morales, I believe. It was a coming out fight. No, or it was Barrera, Morales, one of them.
Listen,
anyway,
I think to me, I think when I first started noticing him when he fought Amir Khan. You remember that?
Yeah, Amir Khan's, you know, he's chinny. And Danny Garcia to me is a one-trick pony. He got a left hook out this world.
He does.
He sometimes he closes his eyes, sometimes he doesn't. He hooks off that block, sometimes counters it. He fakes the right, throws the left. He's like a one-trick pony. That trick is a hell of a trick. That left hook.
Hey, speaking of, I hate to change the subject, but I don't want to run out of time without asking you this, man. Speaking of one-trick ponies, what about Deontay Wilder, man?
That's my guy. That's my
First
guy.
of all, let us say before we meet him again.
Again, that right hand is a hell of a trick, right?
Yeah.
So first of all, in the first fight, he won it, right? So
you think you thought he won that first fight?
Yes. Let me tell you something, right? So you get 2 knockdowns, right? That means the guy has to win every other round in order to win the fight.
This is what I thought, Jake. All right. Now, when you're knocked down, let's see, you usually get 8 points for that round when you're knocked down, correct?
You get 2 points. So it's 4 points for the 2 knockdowns. So
Right.
now we have
I
he has a
still
4
thought
point
Tyson
advantage.
Fury won on points in that first.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought he won on points. Did he win the fight? No. Did he win the boxing match? Yes.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Okay. All right. What do you think he needs to do to get back to that to the heavyweight shot, championship shot?
You know what? Deontay Wilder, I remember his last amateur loss. A guy named Sadak from Georgia beat him in the regional Golden Gloves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember his last amateur loss like it was yesterday. And this was probably 10 years ago. Since then, he's gotten so much better. The right hand has gotten so much cleaner. And at this point, if I'm Deontay in his age, I don't change anything. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been working this far, right? So a lot of times when you try to teach a guy to be conventional, you're losing a big part of him. He's been doing this for a long time, more times than not, obviously. He's been successful. I would ride the wave, man.
I mean,
I would.
Respect,
it's too late to get him to.
disagree.
It's too late, and his jab has gotten light years better. It's too late to get him to be a conventional fighter, fight straight up.
You can't teach him to be more elusive or to create angles.
He will lose at this point. He is so caught up in his style, he will lose more than he wins trying to be somebody other than who he is.
I don't think you're ever too old to learn. But I understand what you're saying.
Hey man, you know, George Foreman was the only person.
I think he can.
George Foreman, in my opinion, George Foreman and Jersey Joe Wilcox was two of the exceptions to the rule, to where in time, in age, it got better, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
Usually, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, man.
All right, I see. Steve-O says it depends on the athleticism. I think Deontay is definitely.
That's Green. Athletic. That's my man Green. You know Green, right?
Yeah.
He's out there in New York. He went back home. He's working for the Port Authority now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. He's been out there a few years now. 2 years, I think. A little bit
over 2. Hey, shouts out to you, bro. But yeah. So he says it's the athleticism. Well, I think he's athletic enough to do that, and he's not that. He's what? Is he 31?
Listen, in heavyweight boxing, you can be a lot older. But listen, in this generation of heavyweights, we have Anthony Joshua.
Yes.
We have Deontay Wilder. We have Tyson Fury. There's 3 big dogs, right?
Yeah.
We have a few other pretty good.
I was about to say, let's not forget about Andy Ruiz, because I still think he's a big dog.
Stop that.
Stop it now. Did he have a belt? Did he beat Anthony Joshua?
Listen, I'm not saying he's, again, I was going to go to the next in line.
And I'm going to tell you this. Can
Andy Ruiz beat Luis Ortiz?
I don't think so.
Then how was he a big dog when he got beat by the guy that got beat by the guy that got beat?
I think Luis Ortiz is something special. I also wish, and I always wish this, I wish Jarrell Miller was in this in the rankings, man. I think he had so much potential. I hate that.
Listen, that's my man's my man. It's my man, $100,000. When I go to Vegas, he meets me out there sometimes. We kick it, and I feel so bad for him because he cut his own self short. You know what I'm saying?
That dude is tough.
Sometimes you gotta learn how to take your losses. And
have you
I don't know
talked
what the deal is with him popping up all the time with these drug tests positive with the I don't know, man, but you know he lost a lot of money, man. He lost a lot of money,
man. He may have lost some fans, but have you talked to him recently though?
I have not. And Jarrell Miller, he's a hard worker. You know, he started late with boxing. He was in some type of martial arts. He's a workout nut. Even if he doesn't box ever in his life again, he's gonna be in that gym.
Hey, you know what? Now, honestly, I think if Andy wasn't there that night, I think AJ may have still lost, man, because Jarrell's bad, man. People don't understand that. That dude is like a tank.
The thing about him is he throws a lot of punches, right?
Yeah.
Heavyweights aren't used to throwing 4 and 5 and 6 punch combinations.
Yeah.
They're not used to a 30 punch output round. And he does that consistently.
Yeah.
He does that consistently, dude.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it, man. I done took up enough of your time. I went over my own time, man. But I sure appreciate you being on the show, man.
Hey, man, before we go, I got a little story to tell, right?
No, go ahead, please do.
All right, so check it out. I think it was 2016.
Uh-huh.
There was this kid that was training for the Guns and Hoses.
Okay.
All right. And he was really green, but he can punch. I mean, this motherfucker can punch. Guns and Hoses, for you all that don't know, is Fire vs. Police. We raise money for the youth, right?
Right.
So this guy could punch his ass off. That's all I knew about him, right? But he couldn't really fight. He wasn't skilled quite yet. He was getting the basics down just a bit. And there was this fireman that was coming in. And I remember when they sparred, because we make the kids, I mean, the guys spar before they fight.
Right.
I remember when he sparred this individual, the individual got the best of him big time. To the point where he was talking shit, throwing his mouthpiece out. And this poor little guy in the corner, and I felt so bad for him. And then when my counterparts told me we're gonna match them two up, I said, we can't do that. He said, nah, he'll be all right. You gotta work the corner and make sure he don't get hit with none of that big shit.
Right.
Fast forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fight night. First round. Gets his ass busted. This kid gets his ass busted.
Was it really that bad? Was it really that bad?
Yeah, it was that bad. Second round, it was a lot more competitive. It could have went either way, but I would have given it to the fireman, right? The third round, these are women rounds, so they're going by quick. I stood them up. I said, you see all these fans out here? He said, yeah, man. I said, they're here for you. I said, you got to get this win, man. I patted on my chest. I said, Mike's calling me in the corner. He said, nah, Jaidon, tell him to run. I don't want him to get hurt. I don't want him to get hurt. I said, Mike, fuck that. He's about to body this kid.
Right.
About 20 seconds in this round, boom, the biggest right hand of your life. Fire falls to the ground, dead. Who is that guy, man?
You talking about me? That's
I'm
what
talking about you. Knock this motherfucker out.
Hey, I still got it now.
Hey, man, I was so proud because after that, that's when I realized, we can't have these guys hurting each other. They're trying to raise money for kids. They got their parents here. They got their daughters, sons, wives, so on and so forth. We're just trying to make this thing fun, man. But let me tell you something, man. You got to punch. You knocked that guy out dead. I remember one time Mike said,
and you know what?
Mike said, Jay, you got to do some work. I said, give who some work?
You, and I remember Lawrence. Remember Lawrence was there, too.
Yeah.
And I think because, and I was really nervous because, I'm from, small town. So the lights and all of that, I never performed in an event like that. So I was really, really nervous. And I think your confidence and Lawrence's confidence gave me something. I was able to stand. I was able to kind of block everybody out. So I really appreciate it. I needed you guys there then, man. Oh,
hey,
my
man,
goodness.
let me tell you something, right? So Floyd Mayweather was on the interview, and I was watching him, and he was saying how Andre Berto was in an interview. He was telling how Floyd Mayweather is so in tune with the moment, right? So the lights don't get to him, right?
Yeah.
The buses with his face on it don't get to him. The interviews don't get to him. The cheering, the music don't get to him. The national anthem doesn't get to him. The introduction doesn't get to him. The bell doesn't get to him. And I started to watch Floyd Mayweather deeper. And when Floyd Mayweather's in the corner sitting down, he's looking across the ring at his opponent to see how heavy they're breathing.
Yeah.
He's talking to his uncle. When Floyd got you in the clinch, he's looking at the time on the clock to see how much time is left in the round. You know what I mean? Floyd Mayweather is so in tune with the moment. And the thing about Floyd is he always said, listen, this ain't sparring. We see what you do when you get under them lights.
Yeah, that's true.
That don't matter. right?
It doesn't, man. I'm telling you, I know that for
You
sure.
be the smartest champion in the world.
Look,
You're still broke.
I hit that bag. I think when we were training, I was hitting that bag. I felt like Ali. I was like, man, I'm gonna tear this thing up. And when the lights hit you and it's time for you to walk out there, look, boom, 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 boom. That's all I remember, man. My heart just.
I'm gonna paraphrase what a good friend of mine named Ice Scully said.
Yeah.
That walk from the dressing room to the ring could strip a man from every little bit of confidence he thought he had, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So, I remember when I used to come out, my entourage used to be big, my brothers and my family, my friends. I would have like 100 people walking to the ring with me, patting me on the back. And I remember I would get in the ring and I would take off my shirt and it would feel so lonely. It's like, where y'all going?
Yeah.
I thought we was going to get this dude. But that's when the realism kicks in. Like, you can't take any of that into the ring with you. It gets lonely, and you got to stand up on your own, too. There is no timeout. You can't give somebody else the ball. You can't take a knee.
No, man.
You
can't talk about it, not unless it's between the rounds.
That's it.
Yeah.
Floyd's the best at that. Floyd's the best at that.
And it's not playing how they say you can't play boxing. That's for sure. This guy's trying to take your head off.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, man. Look, I'm gonna go ahead. It is now 8:15. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you good night. I sure appreciate you. I appreciate all the viewers. I see all of y'all. Thank y'all for your support. Before y'all go, let me go ahead and tell you about our sponsors. Tonight we have a sponsor, Miss Farrah Shelley. So for all of your legal needs, give Miss Farrah Shelley a call from Legal Shield. She's your Legal Shield representative. She provides, providing Legal Shield, providing everyone access to the justice system by assuring access to our Miranda rights. Her number is 770-912-5487. She also has
770-912-5487.
That's it. And that's web page is Farrah Shelley. That's FARRAH. Shelley is SHELLY. WeAreLegalShield.com. So that's Miss Farrah Shelley. Give her a call. We also have one more sponsor.
Farrah Shelley, you got it, Greeno.
You know Miss Shelley, don't you? Sign up for Legal Shield. So we also have Rightfully Restored. That's a pressure washing and home repair service here in the metro Atlanta area. That's Taryn and Brandon. You want to give them a call. That's 470-530-3683. 470.
Their number. I might need them. Pressure washing, you said?
I'm sorry, say it again.
You said pressure washing?
Pressure washing and home repair.
Yeah, text me.
All right.
I might need him.
You need the gutters scraped or fixed, give them a call. You need the driveway pressure wash, you got them. So that's Taryn and Brandon. Again, that's 470-530-3683. I don't think we got two events in Atlanta that's coming up. We got our man Carlos King Dynamite Jackson. We talked about him earlier.
That's and listen, he's a good fighter. I wish to be with him.
He is
but
a good
listen,
fighter.
What I'm saying is, I'm coming from. See, these young kids, they don't want to give respect to the OGs that paved the way. Listen, I'm not saying I was the best that ever did it, but guess what?
Right.
I got farther than most will get.
I got you.
This is a fact. I'm above the 80th percentile of boxers, right? So, world rated, fought in sold out arenas, major promoters, fighting on major networks. So instead of fighting with me, why don't you come to me for game?
Right.
Game is free coming from me, brother.
I got you. All right.
Game is free.
Well, he's supposed to have a fight February 27th over at the Buckhead Fight Club. That's here in Atlanta.
You going?
So y'all check out Carlos King Dynamite Jackson February 27th. February 27th at the Buckhead Fight Club.
Are you going?
I don't think I'll be able to make that. I think I'll be working, to be honest with you.
What? You better take that off, boy.
Be working, man. Hey, gotta keep the lights on, bro. And February 21st, we got Only Hands Amateur Boxing. That's over at the Champions Boxing Gym in Jonesboro. All right. Are you going to any of these events? Man, that's
Yeah.
February 21st.
Because of COVID, it's very limited what we're allowed to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of a sad time for me because I see a lot of kids that could be participating in these events. But we'll tune it back up, man, you know?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you again, man. Thank you, viewers. Y'all have a very good night, and I'll see you next week. All right?
Before we go, I just want to say a big RIP to Coach Tito, man. Coach Tito.
Legends, tonight's the night.